What's up, my Essential Units? It's Essential Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. 2005 is one of Ruthless Aggression era's best year in that era due to the star power and mostly of creatively. So the last 2005 WWE pay-per-view I reviewed on this channel was Judgment Day 2005. That was notable for the John Cena JBL I Quit match. So we're traveling 2 months to the month of July of that year to the worst pay-per-view of that year. That is the 2005 Great American Bash Show at the HSBC Arena. Right now it's called the Key Bank Center in Buffalo, New York. On the 24th of July 2005, the attendance of the show was 8,000. The 2005 Great American Bash received about 233,000 pay-per-view buys, a downgrade, or basically slightly downgraded than the first Great American Bash under the WWE banner. That was it. That was the previous year in 2004. That show received about 238,000 pay-per-view buys. The main event of that show was The Undertaker taking on the Dudleys in a concrete match. Jesus Christ, that was known for Undertaker killing off Paul Bearer. Jesus. It's been a long time since I reviewed that show. Anyway, the commentators for the show are Michael Cole and Taz. By the way, this show is a SmackDown branded pay-per-view, because at the time they were doing brand-only pay-per-views. This show is memorable for the Muhammad Hassan bit. We'll get to Muhammad Hassan later on in this review. So, wow. That is, I say it's 2005's WWE was the best year in the Ruthless Aggression era. This show, wow. Most of their shows were good. This, not so much. Anyway, so a quick result on an episode of Heat. You had Paul London retaining the Cruiserweight Championship against Nunzio. The first match to kick off the 2005 Great American Bash. This is for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Right now it's the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, as is Unified Tag Team Championships right now in our current timeline. Anyway, a bit of a reminder compared to right now and back then. Anyway, so we got Eminem, that is Johnny Nitro and Johnny Mercury with Melina in their corner. They defending the belts against the new LOD. That's short for Legion of Doom. Not the Legion of Doom that's Hawk and Animal. No, we got Animal and Heidenreich. Everyone knows that Hawk passed away in 2003, so this is just tribute of Hawk. I'll get to more of that shortly. The match was okay. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't terrible. It was okay. I think with Eminem carried Heidenreich and Animal to an okay match, because Heidenreich is not really a good worker. It's the truth. He's just not that good in the ring. Animal was way past his prime. In the end, Heidenreich and Animal hit the Doomsday device. I think it was on Mercury or Nitro to win this match. They become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Eminem won the belts from, I think it was from Ray and Eddie. I think it was in the spring. I think it was after WrestleMania 21. That kicked off the rivalry between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. They wrestle on the show later on. We'll get to their match later on in this review. So, yeah, you had Animal grab the mic, point to the sky, we did it for you, brother, something like that, to Hawk, who just died in 2003, 2 years prior. So it was just a tribute. And by the way, they never hold on the tag team belts that long. They end up dropping the belts back to M&N. I think they continued the rivalry throughout into the autumn of that year. I think they had a 6-man mixed tag team match at No Mercy. We'll get to No Mercy 2005 in the future. Sorry, I'm stumbling by mistake. I'm a bit of a fast talker, by the way. So anyway, it was an okay match to kick off the pay-per-view. first of 3 championship matches. So moving on to the second match of the show, we got Christian, Captain Charisma. His first match on SmackDown. It just came from Raw. Taking on Booker T with Sharmell in his corner. They had a match on SmackDown 2 weeks prior. Christian won the first match, so they set up the rematch. The match was good. Wasn't great. It wasn't a 4-star classic. It was a fun match. Some of these matches, I feel like some of these brand only pay-per-views, some matches came off you probably watch on a weekly TV show anyway, so it was fine for what it is. You had Christian trying to go after Sharmell. Sharmell hit Christian in the face, and then Booker T hit Christian with the bookend. In the end, Booker T hit the scissors kick onto Christian to get the win. You could tell Christian was basically facing out, basically got one foot out of the door of the WWE. It's very sad because the previous month's pay-per-view at Vengeance, a show I reviewed in the past, he was headlining one of the matches on that show. He was in the triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Him, John Cena, and Chris Jericho. And then 1 month prior, he's losing to Booker T. This is one of Christian's, I think it was his second, this is one of his Christian's final pay-per-view match of his first run in the company. He ended up leaving the company in the autumn of that year to go to TNA. I think going to TNA was the best for Christian, because if he stayed in the WWE, you could tell on the show people were getting behind Christian, and basically they're slightly turning on Booker T. He was getting like a mixed reaction. I think Booker T turn here was the right direction, but anyway, so but for Christian, I think if Christian, I don't know, Christian would end up getting lost in the shuffle if he stayed in the company. I think going to TNA was the best for him. He went on to become the NWA World Champion, I think it was 2 or 3 times, before returning to the WWE in the beginning parts of 2009 in the ECW brand. So anyway, so that's my spiel on it. But it was a fun match to watch, but it did not save the show, by the way. So moving on to the second championship match of the night. We got Orlando Jordan defended the United States Championship against Chris Benoit. Benoit defeat Booker T on this. It defeat Booker T weeks prior on SmackDown to get a shot at the US title against Orlando Jordan. Orlando Jordan won the belt from John Cena, I think it was in February. That was during Cena's feud with JBL. The match was boring. I'm sorry, it was boring. I was falling asleep, by the way. It was 14 minutes long. It was slow. Orlando Jordan and Benoit, no chemistry. I'm sorry. I was. It was just a boring match. It was slow paced. Some of these Benoit matches, in the 90s, and I haven't seen most of Benoit's matches in the 2000s. They end up being boring. It's just like, I'm not saying Benoit's a good worker. He is a good worker, but some matches are hit or miss. The last boring bad Benoit match I watched and review on this channel was his match with Meng at the 1997 Great American Bash in WCW. But anyway, so trying to keep it short and simple. In the end, Orlando Jordan got the victory. I'm guessing he kind of threw Benoit into the exposed turnbuckle for the win. And by the way, Benoit went on to win the United States title against Orlando Jordan at SummerSlam. By the way, check out my review of SummerSlam 2005. It was on StreamYard. I did, not like my videos. It was pre-recorded. On Power Director, by the way. So it was a squash match, for the best, and then end up doing a gag on SmackDown when Orlando Jordan's wrestling, the cut screen to Benoit making a coffee in 18 or 10 seconds. I don't know how many seconds that Benoit defeat Orlando Jordan at SummerSlam. It was kind of funny. It was showing Benoit's personality. He was not known for his personality and charisma. So that was match number 3. Yeah, match number 4. Holy shit. I'm gonna talk about briefly, not a lot. This is a number 1 contenders match. We got Muhammad Hassan with Daivari in his corner, taking on The Undertaker, winner face the World Heavyweight Champion at SummerSlam that year. So, holy shit. So, how we get there? So basically, they had this number 1 contenders match for the SmackDown Championship. Unfortunately, that's all BS. So basically, he complained. Basically, the whole bulk of Hassan's run, he's discriminated because of his Arab American reality. He's Italian American. So the weeks prior to this, I think at the time SmackDown was a tape show. You had Undertaker defeat Daivari, and then you had Hassan came out with his sympathizers. It's basically guys wearing black ski masks, black jumpers or sweaters, and they're wearing camo pants. They're basically beating down the Undertaker, choking with the piano. I think there were wires around. I think it was piano cables or wires, whatever they're called. And this was the same time then the terrorist attack in London, the London bombings, and that really gave WWE some negative publicity, because at the time SmackDown was on UPN. Right now SmackDown's in Fox in America. In the UK it's in BT Sports. So anyway, so it was so offensive and racist. They got really bad publicity. They got more bad publicity 2 years later with the whole Chris Benoit stuff, but it really killed Mark Kupani. That's his real name, not Muhammad Hassan, by the way. It really killed his career. I'll get to that later on, but it was very, they kind of like edited most of that angle off in other parts of the world, including the UK. And they kind of put this in their video package in this show. So it's really bad for business, it's just like very offensive because at the time this was close to the 4-year anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attack. That was in September, by the way, but it's it's just like very tasteless. And I get it's the ruthless aggression era. But doing these type of stuff like this shit with Muhammad Hassan and the terrorists, it's not like they basically chop off the Undertaker's head, but the stuff with the Undertaker and Triple H fucking the mannequin, it goes too far. I get it. They push the envelope. You're not gonna see it in today's pro wrestling. People pushing the envelope. It'll go too far because we're in the political political correct era in pro wrestling, not just in WWE, but in pro wrestling. So the match, Hassan was carried. He was sitting on a throne, carried by his sympathizers and Daivari. Why they're there? Jesus Christ! I don't want to get in much about it, but it was a very offensive angle. But the match was just shit. Actually, it was okay, by the way, but it was basically too much interference by the sympathizers and Daivari. In the end, Undertaker got the victory, and then Undertaker beating down the sympathizers, and then, being chokeslam, I think he chokeslammed Daivari, and then he hit Muhammad Hassan with the last ride. He basically last ride him through the stage, and then the announcers, Michael Cole and Taz selling it like Muhammad Hassan has been killed. There was blood around his head. It was a bit disgusting. He didn't really, basically hit his head on the concrete floor. Otherwise, he'd be dead. By the way, it was it's a way to run off the character. And yeah, that's the last time we see Muhammad Hassan on WWE television. You never see him after again. I know the original plan that was having Hassan defeat The Undertaker, and went on to defeat Batista at SummerSlam to become the youngest world champion, breaking Randy Orton's record. Because Orton's record still stands today, becoming the youngest world champion in pro wrestling history or WWE history. It's one or the other, by the way. But he was like 23, 24 at this time. He was pushed young. You know, he was getting that heat, and it has to do with the events in London and the whole angle. Really killed his career short. It really basically killed his career. You know, it's a shame. It's not really his fault. It's not Mark Capani's fault. It's just the creative team fault. You know, it's just like over the years, WWE do some stupid shit, like Triple H fucking the mannequin, this shit. Daniel Bryan choking Justin Roberts, the ring announcer's tie. That's you're not gonna see it. Probably you're not gonna see it on the network. But yeah, I don't want to get into it. There's been a lot of controversial stuff they did over the years, and also Paige River, name dropping Ric Flair's son Reed. You know, that's another story another time. There's some stupid shit they've done over the years, but this takes the cake, man. It's just like I feel sorry. You know, they had plans for him. I wish they. It's funny that he was gone. You know, Daivari and Kapani. You know, Muhammad Hassan end up like going back to developmental, but in reality, in September, Mark Kapani, Muhammad Hassan got released. So, you know, I watched Bruce Pritchard's review of this show to get more, for more information for the preparation of my review of the show. That if he was, UPN want him off that network, why could he be on Return to Raw? Because Raw was on the USA network, but I think like Bruce Pritchard said about it'll be the same thing, something like that, I don't know. I watched Chris Van Lay's interview with Muhammad Hassan. That was in 2020, but I don't get into it. Yeah, I think it has really good potential. Some people compare Muhammad Hassan to Jinder Mahal because his push was the same time as the terrorist attack in Manchester with the whole ISIS. During the Ariana Grande concert at the men's arena. But yeah, I think that it missed the boat on him. I don't think he's that great. He was known for his character. He could really do well, but they keep Daivari. It makes no sense because he ended up managing the Great Khali, Kurt Angle. He managed his real life brother Ira Daivari in recent years, but it just makes no sense. Why could you just I don't know about repackaging him. Why could you just take him off TV, wait this whole situation dies out, and then put him back on TV and resume the push? But yeah, it just makes no sense. This whole angle with Muhammad Hassan and the sympathizers attacking The Undertaker really killed Mark Capani's wrestling career completely dead. He did wrestle in recent years in 2018, not as Muhammad Hassan, but someone else. I don't know, but I think he said he's like a principal in some high school and an actor. It's just a shame. It's not, like I said, it's not his fault. It's just creatively, they know they're trying to push the envelope, but they went too far. I hope they do like a Dark Side of the Ring episode of it, but maybe, who knows? Never say never, but anyway, so. And as for The Undertaker, he never got his world title shot. He ended up getting a shot at the world title against Kurt Angle the following year in 2006. So what's the fucking point? Because at SummerSlam, he ended up resuming his feud with Randy Orton. So it's basically like, what's the fucking point? Why? It's just like, they're trying to muddy the waters. I get it, but why could you just do a normal match? Why could they change plans in the last minute? Sometimes I think WWE sometimes shot themselves in the foot. I don't want to get into it. I'm gonna focus on the other matches. That's my spiel on Muhammad Hassan. What waste of talent? Not his fault, but creatively shot him. Shot his career, man. Killed his career, actually. So, anyway, so let's move on to the next matches of this show. So, so the next match, this is a 6-man tag team match. We got the Mexicals. Holy shit. That is Juventud Guerrera, Psychosis, and Super Crazy taking on members of the BWO. That stands for the Blue World Order. That is Stevie Richards, Nova, and the Blue Meanie. I think it's the first time that the Blue Meanie, but the BWO wrestled on a WWE pay-per-view. Yeah, they appeared at the One Night Stand pay-per-view, but that was an ECW tribute show. But this is just a glorified WWE show, by the way. Match sucked. You know, BWO, you can tell they were over. They were trying ECW because this show took place 1 month after the 2005 One Night Stand show. But the Mexicals, holy shit. They came out riding on lawnmowers. They're basically gardeners. What the fuck is this? I'm sorry. Super racist. I'm sorry. Racist. Don't want to get into it. You know, because it's not. This is something like Vince Russo will jizz his pants over the shit. Because at the time, Russo was not in WWE at the time. He was at TNA. What the fuck is that? I don't know who was part of creatively at the time. Who's part of creative at the time. So that's on my stumbling, but who's writing these shows at the time? Who's giving these racist gimmicks? You know, they give Chavo Guerrero combing white. You know, he was a golfer, a white golfer. In reality, he's Hispanic, but I don't want to get into it. But what's with these racist gimmicks in 2005? I don't get it. But you know, I don't mind the Los Guerreros stealing stuff. That was kind of funny, entertaining purposes. But this is not funny. It was shit. But this is filler. This is not really a pay-per-view worthy match. This is a match you probably see on probably on Velocity, probably on a dark match, but not technically not worthy on SmackDown, by the way. But anyway, so the Mexicals got the victory. So moving on to the next match. As the last time, this is the only time we see the BWO on WWE television, because at the time, Blue Mini was in this real-life feud with JBL because of the situation at 1 Extreme 2005. You want Stevie Richards, and I think Blue Mini got released first, then Stevie Richards. Actually, he got released in what, 2005, 2006, 2007, after the fiasco at December 2006. Nova become Simon Dean. He was this fitness guru gimmick that really didn't do nothing for him. So yeah, that was the only time that the BWO wrestled on a not major, but on a WWE pay-per-view. You know, One Night Stand is not. That was just a ECW tribute show. So anyway, so moving on to technically the match of the night. So we got Rey Mysterio taking on Eddie Guerrero. If Rey wins, basically it's all about Dominic, by the way. If Rey loses, you know, Eddie's revealed the secret. If Rey wins, the secret's safe. This is the part they introduce Vicky Guerrero before you're doing the whole her catchphrase, excuse me, dyeing her hair black, in a kayfabe relationship with Edge and Dolph Ziggler. Dominic, you know, as a kid, right now he's tagging with his dad. You know, I think he in recent years won I think it was the Raw or the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Anyway, so this is the weakest. I think it's one of the weakest match of their feuds. You know, whether it's their feud in WCW or the beginning their reunited feud in 2005. It was good, but not great. Basically, fans turned Eddie sucks. Dominic was sitting on the chair. One more of the match, Eddie trying to use Dominic as a shield. Ray says, "Don't do it, Eddie. You promised with your wife." He shouted towards Eddie at ringside. Try to keep it short and simple. Eddie kicked out the 619. I think Eddie did the Three Amigos. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. In the end, Ray got the victory. Rolled up Eddie for the win. The fans chanted 7-0. Oh, was it 0-7 because he never at the time he never defeat Rey Mysterio. So this is set up the ladder. Was it the custody of Dominic at the ladder match at SummerSlam the following month? Like I said, go watch my review of SummerSlam 2005 for more information. I think Eddie should have won this, not feud, but won one of the matches of their feuds. But I think it's just one-sided because Ray won the matches. Eddie defeat Ray on an episode of SmackDown in September in a steel cage match. It just makes no sense. I feel like, I'm not saying Eddie wins the feud, but I wish this feud wasn't so one-sided. It was a good feud, by the way, but it's like Ray always winning the matches. He won the match He beat Eddie at WrestleMania. I think he won the match via DQ at Judgment Day. Won this match on this show. And he went on to win the ladder match at SummerSlam. So it's just one-sided. So moving on to the next match. So the next match, I say match of the night. It's still match of the night by default, by the way. Anyway, so the next match, this is a bra and panties match. We got Melina taking on Tori Wilson with Candice Michelle as the special guest referee. And for the second pay-per-view in a row. It's funny that Undertaker in the second pay-per-view in a row, he's killing off characters. He killed off Paul Bearer at the 2004 Bash. And then on this show, he killed off Muhammad Hassan. And then this show, you had Tori Wilson, who's the poster girl at the 2004 Bash. Now she's also the poster girl of the 2005 Bash. 2 years in a row that Tori Wilson is the poster girl. She is anti-Sam, by the way. But I'm not saying racially. I'm just saying like, 2 years that Undertaker killing characters on this show, and then Tori Wilson is the poster girl of the show 2 years in a row. Batista is the poster boy of the 2006 Bash. That's another future classic Great American Bash pay-per-view to review for another time. Anyway, the match between Tori Wilson and Marlena. Marlena is Terry Runnels. By the way, my sorry by my stumbling. By the way, speaking too fast. By the way, I know Marlene is Terry Runnels. By the way, I'm trying to say it. I'm kind of stumbling. Trying to get my words out. But, they're both names are similar. Marlena. Anyway, so. The match between Tori Wilson and Melina, it was good. I think actually it's not really good. Actually, it was a bras and panties match. Good for seeing good people, women's bodies. But besides that, it was more of a spectacle. It's not really purposely be a serious match. It's more of a comedy match. It's basically you have to strip your opponent's panties, completely women naked to win. Anyway, it was just what it is. In the end, shockingly, Melina got the victory. I thought Tori Wilson might win because she is the poster girl of the show. But anyway, so Candice and Tori got their own back towards Melina. Sorry, but because I'm reviewing 1997 Monday Night Raws, I've got Marlena in the brain. Anyway, so they bra and panties Melina, and that was it. Melina went on to improve in the ring, become a multiple time women's champion, divas and women's champion in her first run in the company. But it was not keen on bra and panties matches. It's a pro and a con. Yes, we want to see hot people, women showing their bodies, their tits and ass. But at the same time, it's not really a wrestling match. It doesn't really do nothing for me. I don't really rather care. I'm not saying, is Central Man gay? No, it's just I want to see women can actually wrestle. It's just basically just showing the feminist side of a women's wrestler. Instead, right now, it's people just, they showcase the women of their in-ring moves, their ring skills. But, it's just... Back then, it was the dark days of women's wrestling. They were there for eye candy, hiring models instead of women can actually go in the ring. So, anyway, so moving on to the main event. The main event, this is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Batista taking on JBL, the leader of the cabinet. Match sucked. Let's be honest. This match sucked. By the way, the teaser they're gonna do a SmackDown championship. It planted the seeds what they're gonna do with the Universal title a decade later. But Batista got drafted to John Cena got drafted to Raw because Raw moved to the USA Network. Batista got drafted to SmackDown. I think at the time Cena and Batista got drafted in both Raw and SmackDown was the biggest. I think it's the best at the time, the shocking draft picks of all time. you know, because they were big stars, big muscles, and right now they're in Hollywood, you know. But anyway, so yeah, basically, yeah, you had Batista. You basically had JBL dressed up like Uncle Sam with the red, white, and blue. Showing a WWE magazine cover of him being Batista, beating him down. Building up to his match on the show. Yeah, the match sucked. It was boring. I never liked that match at SummerSlam the following month. There's no chemistry between Batista and JBL. It's funny that this is the same show that JBL went on to win the world title the previous year in 2004 against Eddie Guerrero in the Bull Rope match for the WWE Championship. 1 year later, he's in the world title match. But this time he's not become the world champion. So, yeah, boring match. Yeah, the Orlando Jordan interfered. Yeah, Batista hit both JBL and Orlando Jordan in the head with the chair. At the time, the chair shot to the head was allowed. Compared right now, not allowed. Anyway, so yeah, afterwards Batista took his frustration onto JBL and Orlando Jordan, and that was it. And also. And also, like, before the start of this match, yeah, JBL giving fans American flags, it's basically pandeism. This is the first of many times that pro wrestlers doing the fake campaign to become world champions. EC3 did it a decade later, and then I think in recent years, MGF did it, during his feud with John Moxley, preparing for the world title match at All Out 2 years ago. But anyway, so yeah, JBL never won the world title ever again. He was end up like chasing after the belts, WWE and world titles before retiring full time in 2009. So anyway, so my final rating for the 2005 Great American Bash, I give it a 3. Yeah, this is the worst pay-per-view of the year for the WWE. Wow, it's just a bad show. The only match they're not really worth to watch the 2005 Great American Bash again. The only thing in the good has to be the two matches in the good for me is Ray versus Eddie and Christian versus Booker T. Besides that, the okay is the okay. The tag team title match was okay, but the bad is the bad. I'm sorry, the bad is the bad. Benoit and Orlando Jordan for the United States title was boring. The main event was boring. Undertaker versus Muhammad Hassan. That was just a squash match. That you never seen Muhammad Hassan ever again. And also the 6-man tag team match, BWO versus the Mexicools. Stupid. Why it's on the pay-per-view in the first place? Beats me. So yeah, this is a thumbs down show. Don't watch the 2005 Great American Bash. So yeah, it's just like. Yeah, I prefer the 2004 show. At least you had some good matches, like the multi-man United States title match, Ray versus Chavo for the Cruiserweight title, and the main event, not main event, but the JBL Eddie Bull match for the WWE title. Yeah, and besides that, you had fucking Billy Gunn versus Kento Suzuki, Mordecai versus Hardcore Holly, the Concrete Crit match. Yeah. In that time period, yeah. I don't think they produced I think the 2007 show was the best out of the 5 or 6 batch they did. Since WCW went out of business in 2001. So yeah, this is a stinker. So hope you enjoy my review of the 2005 Great American Bash. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash that button, click the like, click the bell, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos and more. Next time on the classic WWE pay-per-view review segments. So the last 2 weeks I've been reviewing some bad shows, so let's end the month of July reviewing a good show. So going back to the year of 1997, Steve Austin, the LOD, Ken Shamrock, and Goldust are going to Canada. Going to Calgary to face the Hart Foundation. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to review In Your House Canadian Stampede. This is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.